Alright, let's get into what just aired on First Take, because this segment caught a lot of people off guard. According to NBA insider Dave McMenamin, there's been a major update involving Austin Reeves and his long-term future with the Los Angeles Lakers, and this one could reshape the team's backcourt for years to come. The report broke earlier today and already has fans and analysts talking about what it means for LA's plans alongside Luka Doncic. And that's not all. The First Take desk also brought up some important developments surrounding Luka's contract situation and how it all ties into the bigger picture. So let's unpack this. McMenamin dropped the bomb that Austin Reeves is expected to re-sign with the Lakers on a new deal that could exceed $30 million annually. That's right, a $30+ million per year commitment from the Lakers. And according to multiple executives cited by ESPN, there's a growing belief around the league that Reeves isn't just staying in LA, he's going to be locked in as Luka's backcourt partner for the long haul. Now, let's be real here. This changes the narrative completely. Throughout the offseason, there were a lot of questions swirling around both Reeves and Luka. Would Reeves be traded in a bigger package? How would he fit next to a high-usage star like Luka? Would LeBron's uncertain future affect either of their roles? But now, with Luka signing that long-term extension and this new report confirming Reeves' expected deal, it looks like the Lakers are fully committed to this pairing. One executive reportedly told ESPN, and I quote, "I think he'll get $30 million plus." That echoes what multiple front office sources are saying about what Reeves' next contract might look like. So whether you're a fan of the fit or not, that price tag suggests the Lakers view Reeves as a serious cornerstone moving forward. But of course, First Take dove deeper. They pointed out that while Reeves had a career-best season in points and assists last year, he absolutely struggled in the playoffs, especially in that first-round series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Defensively, it was a rough matchup. He was hounded by long, athletic wings like Jaden McDaniels, and you could see his confidence take a hit. And that's where the conversation gets tricky. Because if you're paying a player $30+ million a year, you're not just paying for regular season stats. You need postseason performance. You need someone who can deliver when it matters most. And First Take made it clear, while Reeves is a fantastic player, his postseason inconsistency is something the Lakers will need to monitor closely moving forward. But here's the thing, this move isn't just about what Reeves is today, it's about who he's becoming. The panel talked about how Reeves has improved every single season since entering the league, from an undrafted rookie to a legitimate sixth man of the year candidate in 2022, and then breaking out as a full-time starter last year, averaging 20 points and 6 assists per game. And during stretches when Luka sat or deferred, Reeves actually stepped into the point guard role and handled it well. His development as a passer and playmaker has been one of the more underrated storylines in LA. Still, it's not all sunshine. First Take brought up a fair point. There are still some valid questions about how well Reeves and Luka truly complement each other, especially in clutch time scenarios or in defensive rotations. That's why there's been speculation that the Lakers could eventually move Reeves to the bench and slide in a more defensive-minded guard like Marcus Smart into the starting lineup to give them a more balanced unit. But the hosts were split on that idea. Some argued that Reeves deserves to keep his starting spot, especially if he continues to develop as a shot creator and secondary playmaker. Others leaned into the idea that staggering minutes could bring out the best in both Reeves and Luka without compromising floor spacing or defense. Still, even with those concerns, everyone on the show agreed that Reeves has earned the payday. And that number, $30 million per year, reflects his value not just to the Lakers, but to the marketplace. Remember, the last time Reeves hit restricted free agency, teams like San Antonio and Houston were seriously exploring ways to steal him away. That didn't happen, and now it looks like LA isn't taking any chances this time around. The report also mentioned that if Reeves performs well this upcoming season, especially in the postseason, he could put a lot of those lingering doubts to rest. Because ultimately, it's not just about having Luka and Reeves on paper. It's about whether they can lead this team deep into the playoffs. So, to wrap up what First Take said, this new contract isn't just a reward for what Austin Reeves has done, it's an investment in what the Lakers believe he can become. And pairing him with Luka Doncic for the next several years, that's the blueprint they're betting on. The big question now is, will it actually work when the lights are the brightest? So, continuing what was just said on First Take, this potential $30 million per year extension for Austin Reeves may raise a few eyebrows, but when you break it down, it actually signals something much bigger for the Lakers. It's not just about the money, it's about establishing a core. It's about planting the flag and saying, this is the backcourt moving forward. Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. That's the duo LA wants to build around for the next chapter of the franchise. And let's be real, the moment LeBron James eventually steps away from the game or leaves the Lakers, this becomes even more relevant. Reeves is the kind of player who can either take on more responsibility or slide into an off-ball role depending on what the team needs. That versatility is key. He came into this league as a gritty utility guy, but he's evolved into a legitimate offensive weapon, and someone the Lakers clearly view as part of the blueprint post-LeBron. Now, yes, last year was clunky at times. That was to be expected. Integrating Luka Doncic mid-season was always going to cause growing pain. Reeves went from running a lot of sets with LeBron and AD, guys who operate in specific ways, to suddenly having to adjust to Luka's style, a much more ball-dominant guard who controls tempo in a very different way. Reeves had to shift from initiating the offense to being off-ball, then sometimes back on ball depending on who was sitting. That constant adjustment? It showed. The chemistry wasn't always there, but that's what an off-season is for. Now that they've had time to gel, there's optimism, not just from the Lakers but around the league, that this pairing could really work. And First Take made a great point. While Reeves isn't known as a lockdown defender, he's not a complete liability either. His effort level is high, his instincts are good. But if the Lakers are building around Luka, they need defenders around him, so it'll be interesting to see whether that need impacts Reeves' role. Could we see him move to the bench at times to accommodate a more defense-first lineup? Possibly. And that's something Darvin Ham will have to experiment with early in the season. The show also touched on some external doubts. People saying Reeves won't be able to repeat his 20-point-per-game output from last year with a full season alongside Luka. And that's fair. His usage will naturally dip, but then again, high IQ players like Reeves tend to find ways to stay productive. Whether it's spacing the floor, cutting without the ball, or creating in transition, he's shown flashes of all that. So don't be surprised if he still finds a way to average close to that mark, even if his touches go down. Now, shifting gears a bit, First Take also broke some important news regarding Luka Doncic himself. According to a report from The Athletic, Luka's manager Lara Beth Seeger made it clear. Luka has moved on from his time in Dallas. All the noise, the speculation, the questions about his future, that's behind him. He's fully committed to building something in LA. And more importantly, he's here to win. In the words of Seeger, Luka's not the type of guy who bounces around chasing situations. He's focused on building a winning culture where he is now. When he signed the extension, it wasn't just a deal. It was a long-term commitment. It's a partnership. Like a marriage. You have highs and lows, but you stick through it. And listen, if you're a Mavericks fan, hearing that probably stings a little. The idea that Luka never hesitated to sign long-term with LA when there were clear hesitations in Dallas, it says a lot. Remember, there were internal issues, questions about his leadership, questions about defense, and friction with the front office under Nico Harrison. Now, in LA, he feels supported, and that matters. At this point, Luka is locked in for the next 3 seasons, and all signs point toward him extending again. If this foundation continues to grow, that's a massive win for the Lakers. It gives them stability. It gives them a superstar in his prime, one who's not looking elsewhere. But let's bring it back to Reeves for a moment. Because the First Take crew didn't shy away from saying it, this is a defining season for him. One Western Conference assistant coach reportedly told ESPN, Reeves has to deliver in the playoffs. If he wants to be Luka's long-term co-star, he needs to prove it when it matters most. That's it right there. Regular season stats are great, but if Reeves wants that full contract, if he wants to be the guy next to Luka, he's going to have to earn it in the postseason. And let's be honest, if he underperforms again when the lights are brightest, the Lakers might reconsider the terms of that extension. But on the flip side, if he shows growth, if he locks in defensively and becomes a consistent shot maker when defenses tighten up, that deal is a no-brainer. The reality is, the Lakers are betting big on this duo. They're betting that Luka and Reeves can become the next great backcourt tandem in the West. But it's not just about highlight reels and scoring totals. It's about chemistry, it's about defense, and it's about winning when it counts. So as First Take closed out this segment, they made it clear. This is a pivotal year for both players. Luka's already proved himself. Now Reeves needs to meet him there. Let's see if he does. And so, to wrap up what First Take reported earlier today, there's no denying the pressure is on now, not just for the Lakers as a team, but for Austin Reeves individually. After signing a 3-year deal, the goal is obvious. Play at a high enough level to earn the next deal, the real blockbuster. That's the 4- or 5-year extension that could push north of $400 million if everything breaks right, but he has to earn it. And that's what makes this upcoming season one of the most important of his career. Now, as was pointed out on the show, the encouraging thing is this. Both Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves want to be in LA long-term. Luka's already said it. He wants to retire in purple and gold. And Reeves, according to multiple insiders, feels the same. But talk only goes so far. You have to perform. That's why this season is so pivotal. Reeves has to prove that not only can he coexist with Luka, but that he can thrive in that pairing, in both the regular season and the playoffs. One Western Conference executive put it bluntly during the First Take segment. This is a career-defining year for Reeves. And that's the truth. The expectations are massive. But it's not just about him. The Lakers front office is also under the microscope. And when you talk about Rob Pelinka and the roster construction, there's another layer of strategy that came up yesterday on the show. Specifically, First Take analyzed the recent Celtics move, a deal that sent Georges Niang and 2 second-round picks out in order to clear salary and make way for a separate move. Boston essentially gave up Niang and 2 valuable second-rounders just to shave $6 million off their cap sheet. That opened the door for them to sign Chris Boucher and save upwards of $50 million in luxury tax penalty. It was a calculated financial play, and it worked. Now compare that to what the Lakers have done, or haven't done. There's a reason Rob Pelinka hasn't just dumped contracts like Gabe Vincent or Maxi Kleber. It's because the Lakers don't have many second-round picks left to throw in, and the price tag, as we just saw with the Celtics, is steep. You'd have to attach multiple picks just to get another team to take on one of those deals. And when you're already tight on assets, every pick counts. And let's not forget, players like Rui Hachimura still hold real value around the league. Unlike some of the others, Rui could potentially be moved in a bigger deal, something that actually brings back talent, not just cap space. So instead of selling low, the Lakers are choosing to hold on to what they have. They're opting to pay a bit more in the short term, with the hope that their guys either play well enough to flip later or become useful parts of a playoff rotation. It's all part of a bigger picture. The Lakers aren't just building for this year. They're planning ahead to what the roster looks like in 2, 3, even 4 seasons from now. They've committed to Luka Doncic. They're doubling down on Austin Reeves. And they're not going to burn assets just to clear a little cap space when they might need those same assets to land the next big piece. And so, that's where we stand now. According to First Take, it's official. Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic will be the Lakers' backcourt pairing moving forward. That's the plan, that's the vision. And whether or not it works is going to shape the future of this franchise for the rest of the decade. Let us know what you think. Is this the right move for LA? Can Reeves truly become the co-star that Luka needs? Or should the Lakers have looked elsewhere this offseason? Either way, it's going to be one of the most watched storylines in the NBA next season. And that's it for now. Huge year coming. Big decisions ahead, and if First Take is right, the best or the craziest might still be yet to come.